Hello and welcome to a video where I show you how to mix funky accordion. Yes, you did not misread that when clicking on the title. So this is a case study I've been looking at lately called 10 Miles Away by the band The Upsiders. This song is actually written by the accordion player. The accordion player is also the melodica player. And it's a wonderful man called Nathan De-Broize King, who, as well as playing the piano on this and the melodica, also plays the accordion. Yeah, we've just gone and put this in the track here. It's quite a dense sounding recording now, so it's about carving out some of these mid-range instruments such as the accordion. It's not a usual instrument you would find in a sort of funk pop song like this, so I thought a video would be a good idea. So how to approach mixing something like this? Well, an accordion is a portable organ, really. They're both related to the bagpipe family, which was originated from the ancient Greeks who used to make bagpipes out of dead sheep. So it comes from that sort of family, so it's got a lot of reeds in it, and you use it of course by pushing air in its two bellows, and of course an organ, any kind of organ covers a big massive frequency spectrum, and the accordion, being a portable version of that, is no different. It is just a big box of harmonics, really. So my approach to a lot of this was actually to carve out a couple of frequencies that were quite muffling the sound, but also to then encourage the other harmonics to come through. Really encourage that, because that's a big characteristic of the instrument. So here is the accordion on its own.
Whoa, 10 miles, 10 miles, 10.
Sorry, I got the vocal in there as well. Let's take the vocal out and I'll play that again. Oh, CPU, but hopefully you get the idea there. So yep, that is the man who wrote this song and has then just gave himself an F. He does have more to do in this song, as you'll get to hear hopefully as this comes through. So in true Blue Peter fashion, hopefully you all get that reference, I've kind of prepared it a bit earlier. So let me take everything off and I'll explain why I made this decision earlier. So let's take off all the frequencies there in this EQ. So I'm using the Pro Q4 here by FabFilter. I love this thing. And I've taken out two things, and this is two things I've cut, as this is my cutting EQ here. First of all, I've just done a high pass on the EQ up at 100 Hz. General just sort of practice there of taking out so it doesn't get in the way of the bass drum or the bass guitar, and all of those kind of lower frequencies there, because we just don't need it in this big dense mix. One thing I might do actually is just sort of make that slope a little bit more drastic. There we go, a bit more vertical. So here we go. So this is going to probably make very little difference, especially if you're listening to this on your phone speaker or your laptop speakers, but we'll have a little bit of a listen and show you what this does. There we go. told you had a bit more to do. But yeah, so there was all this kind of sub-muffly stuff going on here that we just don't need. Next thing is we had one of these frequencies here. This is a 250 hertz. If you're ever in doubt with taking out low mids and taking out muffle, just go to 250 hertz and take that out. As you'll probably hear in a second, you'll be able to tell it does actually make a bit of a difference pretty much on anything you ever record ever. There we go, and I made that one a dynamic as well, so that particular frequency is being compressed there. So if we play that again, and I'm going to just solo that 250 hertz just so you can hear what that was doing to the sound in a little bit more in detail. Here we go. So there we go. So we're just making the whole thing sound a little bit clearer, and I'm pretty much going to leave the rest of that alone now, but we're going to go into compression modes. And my approach to this now does involve some presets. I did indeed just go to a preset and just slap this on, but I did it with some thought behind it. I wanted a quite drastic drastic setting for the compression, where it brings out all of those harmonics I was talking about before, with a little bit of saturation in there as well. So I've gone for that here, and I just went through until I found a preset here with the Kush Novatron that I love so much, and it's called Hairy, this one. And it's kind of a bus setting, really. It is quite drastic, but it is probably going to be the only compression that this accordion gets as well. So we're very much limiting here, bringing out all of that kind of background harmonics that the instrument does so well. We've got some saturation here. If I unbypass for a second, you've got quite a bit of saturation, 40%. We've got a quick release and a very slow attack, which works really well for an accordion, because an accordion doesn't have quite a sudden attack to it. Everything is a swell. Every single note swells into it, so having that attack a bit later is pretty good. So here's without. So yeah, there we go. So not a ton of compression in this part of the song, but if I maybe play you this other bit here. So yeah, there we go. That's the main hook for this song. So yeah, we're actually, the more we compress that there, the more I'm actually sort of hearing some more mid-range going through, which is going to help this cut out more in the mix, which hopefully hear in a second. Got another preset here, tape saturation this time, bit of tape emulation probably more than saturation really. And it's an accordion preset that I like. And we've gone for quite a bit of wow and flutter down at the bottom, so adding kind of a bit of modulation there, a bit of chorus, and adding a little bit of delay as well. But of course we are using the 888 tape here, which is the kind of the lowest quality tape, the more vintagey tape setting there. The speed is 15 ips. I like to call it ips, and then we're over biasing as well. and we're not playing with any ins and outs on the level there. So without, it sounds like this, and I'll bring it in halfway through again. So yeah, so quite a subtle effect in terms of the tape emulation, but we do have quite a bit more of the chorusing and the delay going on there. So let's take everything off, unsolo, and hear it in context. And I'll bring things in gradually one by one so you can tell what they are. And you probably, yeah, let's go for it. So yeah, interesting how that delay kind of acts almost like a drop shadow would on a piece of text. Really brings it out there, doesn't it? It's currently the only thing in the mix that has any kind of time-based effects on it, so it's going to make it pop out a little bit more. So yeah, so that's what we've gone with the accordion. A little bit lazy with the presets, not going to lie, but my main concern was getting it to sit in the mix without any kind of muffling going on, so this was my main bit of work on this, and I was quite happy with the recording of this accordion. It was using a valve condenser, so a condenser microphone that has a valve in it, and we just put it pretty much central to the accordion, where the kind of roughly where the bellows are. And there we go, and I've panned it 80%, so it's over to the left, because I wanted it to sit with the guitar. So in a way, this accordion sits lower than this funky guitar here, which we'll get onto more in another video, which is completely unmixed at the moment. But yeah, so if we put those two together, so yeah, so the idea there is that the accordion is sort of lower in our spectrum of frequency than the guitar, but they sit both on the same side of the panning, so I wanted sort of one to sit underneath the other, as it were. Okay, well, big thank you to Nathan De-Broize King for writing this song and letting me use it as a case study, and well done to him for managing to fit an accordion into such a funky poppy song, and something that's by no means an umpire song, which is kind of probably where you would assume the accordion would be. But yeah, alright then, well, thank you for joining me with this, and I hope this helps you if you ever find yourself having to mix your own accordion. The main things to take away were taking out the muffle in the low mids, and of course shaping it so that it avoids any other low frequency instruments that are maybe a bit more prominent in the low frequencies. But then we've also compressed it to bring out some more of those kind of upper harmonics that the instrument does so well. Alright, well, thank you ever so much for listening. I hope this helps, and hopefully see you in the next video. Alright then, bye.